Wednesday.
What up?
We in the building. Fresh off of the banana. That's racist. Fresh off of the Delta flight. Fresh out of customs. We're here. Looking tan and bronze.
Fresh out of customs.
Fresh out of customs.
You're
Me.
right.
Not nowhere. Here. Atlanta. Stuff. Still. So. What's up, girl? Birthday girl, still your birthday. Get it one time.
I know it's Leo season, but this council right here is still celebrating.
I know it's Leo season, but this Taurus is still in the building. Grab something. Grab your champagne glass. Let's take a drink to that.
Damn.
Ooh, yes, honey. Mm-hmm. So, what's going on, everybody? I am Yola, and I'm sitting here next to
LA
from the A. And today we have a not so talked about subject in our community. Mm-hmm. Because no one really wants to talk about these things. But that's why we're here, right? We're here to start the conversations, to get people talking about things that make them uncomfortable so that we can promote a change, right? So tune in now, comment, share it. We need your feedback regarding it. And
let me know if you want to come on, because we will literally we'll add you on to our broadcast. Okay, we are streaming live.
We are.
We'll
we are streaming live. And if you're on Podbean, you can chat here, and I'll read your questions out loud. So, but before we get started on that, let's just do what we normally do. LA, how has your week been?
My trying to kill me today. Put it out there. Just Watch Me Fitness tried to kill me today. I'm putting that out there.
Just Watch Me Fitness. I'm
trying
coming for you, sir. Leave her alone. Mm-hmm. Don't try to kill her. I need her.
So
you see her, you see me.
If y'all see me doing SOSs,
help out.
Come get me.
Please.
Come get me.
ASAP. Without hesitation, right?
Ooh, I know it's for my good, but baby.
But that's what happened when you go to Jamaica.
My body was not.
That's what happens when you go to Jamaica.
She was not ready. She still needs to be in recruitment state for.
Okay. Because you was tired. Because you had too much fun. That's right. Cool. So, all right. Well, I've been doing nothing since last week. I've only worked since last week.
Oh, I've been working.
I ain't worked out. I ain't eating nothing good. I ain't eating nothing bad either.
That's good.
I haven't done anything.
This popcorn.
That popcorn is on point. What did I do interesting? I'm trying to see. I just worked. The thrift store had a $10 bag sale. It was awesome.
Amazing.
I love that.
The bag sale.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, we have another one.
Yeah, probably next month.
I'm coming.
So we got some new signage for that. We put out some new things. So thank you for your donations for that.
This is really good. I'm listening.
No, you're fine.
Girl Power.
That's
caramel popcorn.
I think that's all I had.
From the Hampton Popcorn Company. I think it's at home.
Is that in New York?
I think it's in Long Island. It's home.
Yeah.
It might be one of the family members.
So, we are talking about destigmatizing mental health issues in the Black community. Now, what does that mean? It basically, it means a lot, right? Because when we're talking about destigmatizing any issues that we have, let's speak on the fact that in the Black community, we don't even acknowledge mental health as an issue.
Correct.
Right? Correct. Most of the time when we speak about mental health, we are saying that the person is a little touched.
crazy
or slow, right? Or crazy. But no one talks about the chemical imbalances that take place in these situations. No one addresses the post-traumatic stress that you go through just from being Black. Right. No one takes those things into consideration. Everybody, even as a Black woman, I feel like the thing that you hear often is get over it. Get over it. Get over it.
They want to sweep it under the rug.
Get over it.
Want you to go on with your life as if nothing had happened. You don't talk about it. What happens in this house stays in this house.
Okay. They say that.
Well, we all say that.
Yeah.
You know, not even taking in consideration that someone may need help. Someone needs someone to talk to. Because we all deal with stress differently. Not, everybody don't deal with stress the same way.
They don't.
And so, and if you don't find an outlet or don't have some type of outlet, whether it's whatever your passion is through the arts, is talking to someone, whatever, that it can really, really become detrimental to your well-being.
But so it's a stigma in our community because we don't want you to talk to nobody about your problems but God. Somewhere along the line, somebody told us, you don't need to talk about none of your problems except God. He's the only person that can fix it.
He's a healer.
He's a healer. And he's a way maker. But listen,
gives me
I love God. You don't love God?
In my room.
What's wrong with you?
In the room.
No, but really, that's the only person in the Black community that you're supposed to talk to about your issues and concerns.
And let me say this though. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Is it really because they think or know that God can fix all, or is it that they don't want to be embarrassed or held accountable?
I think it could be all of them. Well, really, accountability in the Black community looks like I did something wrong, and I don't want to admit to anybody that I did something wrong. So the stigma of going to get help is, the stigma of going to get help saying you saying there's something wrong with you, right? So no one wants to admit that it's something wrong with me. I seen a meme and it said I had to apologize because sometimes I'm the problem. A lot of the times you are the problem. How you remain the problem by not seeking help from someone that knows how to fix the issue.
And to add that too, we have to realize that when you have these traumatic experiences as young as kids, right? And then you become these adults and you have this issue or that issue, and you're thinking, oh, this is this way because of this, that, and other that happened.
Right.
Not even understanding or realizing that it really is that way because of what you went through as a child that had never been dealt with.
Exactly.
And so
the childhood
like
trauma.
This snowball effect that actually really just messed up whatever it was in your adult life.
I agree. I think that a lot of times, because we talk about this a lot, we talk about how the things that happen to you as a child affect your decision-making skills as an adult. But no one wants to admit that they're still showing up as the 5-year-old who dad didn't pick them up, or the 7-year-old who slapped them, or no one. I mean, again, accountability, admitting to others, and first of all, it is not even others that you need to admit things to. It's yourself.
Right.
You need to look in that mirror and say to yourself, this is what I went through. The actions of other people do not necessarily affect. They are not going to determine who I am, but I can't also allow those things to deter me from being the greatest version of myself. But sometimes people do get caught up in saying, or a crutch. Well, this happened to me, so I can be a messed up person to someone because this happened. Or if this hadn't happened to me, then I would be farther along in my life. So, and I did read something a counselor. I think she said that Black people have a hard time of letting go. She said that Black people want to remain the victim at all times. They don't know how to let go. So if something happened to them 10 years ago, it happened. You can't do nothing about it, but it's still affecting your decision-making skills 11 years later.
Yes.
Something that happened to you 10 years ago. If I pinched you on Tuesday, it shouldn't be affecting you on Friday.
But I remember that you pinched me.
But it shouldn't. You should let that go. That shit happen. Move on. Right?
No, but that affects
you. No. So that's part of
apologize.
That's the cycle, right? That's the cycle right there. That's the thing that people want to keep on hearing.
So now I like people to touch me because they
exactly that you say you didn't get an apology for, and then sometimes you're not gonna get an apology, right? So the stigma of you going to try to heal yourself, fix yourself is an issue. It's not an issue for me because I want you to be the best version of yourself. Right. It's an issue for other people who don't want you to, because they don't want to heal. Because if you heal, your healing is going to affect me, and your healing is going to make me be accountable to the shit that I did to you. And I don't want you to make me feel like what I did to you was wrong, because now I got to say to myself, I did something fucked up to Keisha.
Right.
I have to say, I did something fucked up.
Yeah.
I can't say.
And that's what I was talking about earlier. Because the people don't want to be held accountable for their actions and the part that they played or the role that they played in whatever traumatic experience that was for that next person.
Right. Because your healing is going to affect me.
Yeah.
Your healing is going to say, I did that to her. Right. So the stigma to us going to get help is also us pointing fingers at everybody that's done something to us. Mm-hmm. So we can't sit here and just sit here and suffer by ourselves and say, no, I'm not gonna try to fix myself, because then I got to call out my mama, I got to call out my dad, I got to call out my grandma, I got to call out my uncle, I got to call out my aunt. So now the whole family,
the elders,
right? The elders
that you are taught not to talk about or be disrespectful to, because when it's something that they don't think is right, it being disrespectful.
Right.
It's why did you say this or why did you say that? That's disrespectful. No, it's just my truth.
It's your truth, but it hurt my feelings that your truth hurt my feelings. But you did it to me. But you did it to me. I have to be mindful of who you are and what you are, but I can't say. Mm-hmm. So I gotta suffer in silence. I can't go seek help, because if I seek help, then I'm telling someone outside of our household our business. Exactly. So we can't go talk to a counselor because now somebody else know our dirty secret. Right? Mm-hmm. Because we are portraying this image to the world that we're all together, that we're put together. I have everything going for myself. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but deep inside, I'm still this little bitty girl that's crying because this happened to me, and I'm just going through life, getting over, and never attacking the real issue.
Right.
And then it's showing up whenever I'm in an argument with somebody, or whenever I meet new people, or whenever I'm in the middle of the night and then I can't breathe because now I got anxiety. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So then that leads to depression. Mm. So then that leads to drug use, because I can't even deal with who I am, because I got so much stuff that I done tried to get over, but no one wants to address that. No one says, hey man, I know you went through a lot.
And it's so sad though, because like you said, you done went through all these different phases and stages.
Man, look.
And a lot of times, sometimes we get older and older that we forgot the reason why we even the way that we are. Because it was never addressed. Sometimes we suppress what happened to us so far in the back of our conscience, in the back of our mind, that we start to accept it and just say, this is the way I am.
Listen.
It is not the way that you are.
Right.
This is your protection to yourself, or this is what do they call it? Your this is your oh my God, what is on tip of my tongue?
I don't know. What is it? What is
defense mechanism.
Oh, okay.
This is what you do when you feel that you're attacked, but you're not really being attacked, but it's just like a trigger for you.
Right.
It's certain things. You know what I'm saying? So this goes deep and wide. I was reading an article from USC, Why Mental Health. And it states here, in the African American community, mental health issues are often compounded by the psychological stress of systemic racism. As a result, African American adults are 20% more likely to report serious psychological distress than white adults. What's more, seeking mental health care is stigmatized within many Black communities, and just 1 in 3 African Americans who struggle with mental health issues will ever receive appropriate treatment.
1 in 3. But let me go back, because when I say slavery, listen, but when I say that, the trauma from that, man, listen, y'all, it's generations deep. We're generations deep into that, and it said right here, like they've done so many studies on this, but you see it.
And Black communities, reluctance to seek both physical and mental health care can often be attributed to a general distrust of the medical establishment. This distrust is not without merit. Historically, African Americans have been misdiagnosed at higher rates than white patients, and Black communities have been exploited by the U.S. government and medical community in the name of medical advancement.
They have. I agree. Man. So post-traumatic stress. So slavery post-traumatic stress is a byproduct of slavery, right? I never was enslaved. However, I am
not physically.
Not physically, mentally, emotionally, I was enslaved because my ancestors were slaves. Then they raised children that were slaves, and then they raised children that were slaves. And then here you have me, who we're breaking generational curses, right? We're breaking the bondage. We're breaking the stigmatisms. We're breaking the things that held our parents and their parents hostage. So, this is how deep it goes. I remember I'm probably 13, 12, 11, 13. My parents, they divorced. So we go to court. They say, who do you want to stay with? I'm 13.
You can't make that decision.
I say, I love both of my parents the same.
Right.
But I want to go to school in Syston. Syston happened to be where my daddy lived.
Okay.
All right. So I'm thinking I'm making a good decision because I didn't say I like my daddy more than I like my mama, and I didn't say I like my mama more than I like my daddy.
Right.
But my decision hurt both of my parents. Subconsciously, now I can't make a decision at 13. So I'm living my life 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, so forth, not able to make a real decision about my life because I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. Right? So those kind of things are the things that we repress, and then it shows up in who we date, what job we take, how we wear our hair, how confident we are, the things we say, even acting out. Yeah. Even acting out is a byproduct of a mental illness that we don't address, right? So it's like, hey Virgil, hey Deacon. Virgil wanna come.
You wanna come on, Virgil?
Yeah, let Virgil come on because he wants to say something. But just being able to acknowledge, like getting back to a place where mentally, and that's why you got to talk to a counselor. Right. I feel like my first time ever speaking to a counselor was because I went to a doctor's appointment after I had a miscarriage, and she sent me to this doctor, this counselor, because she said I was listless, and I was like, well, it's raining, so we like to blame our moods on we like to blame our mental health on other factors, like maybe it's raining, so I'm sad because it's raining, or I didn't sleep well, or we don't never like to say why we have like the feelings that we had. We don't like to dig into them. So I'm in there talking to this counselor, and I'm really feeling like she's doing a horrible job. I felt like she was doing such a horrible job.
Why?
Because, so the stuff that she was saying, right, like, because she was like, well, do you think the world would be a better place if everybody was like you? I'm like, yeah, because I think I'm dope as fuck. So she's like, well, you're a narcissist.
Just saying that.
I never even thought of me thinking that. She's like, it takes different kind of people to make up the world. I said, cool, I got you. I see where you're going. I see what you're cooking. So then she says, what do you do when you get upset? I said, I do what everybody else do, which is I get over it. And even now, like I don't like to react to everything that makes me upset. Because I don't like my reaction to a lot of things. Because I have two extremes. And I don't like them. That's just I'm being honest. So she said, that's Reese. That's Reese. That's definitely her ass. So she says, when someone makes you upset, you need to respond then. Okay. So she gave me an exercise. So she was like, try to do it. So I ended up in jail. But I ended up in jail not because of the it's some compounding factors. But I ended up in jail because I reacted. Right. She said, if somebody do something to you, tell them they did something to you. So you tell somebody they did something to you, then they want to do something else to you. So it's like, it's not healthy for me to address everything somebody do to me.
Absolutely not.
But she said it is not healthy for me to also have the build-up of things because I will explode.
So there's a difference when it comes to you speaking how you're feeling. What you're doing is expressing how you're feeling, right? Even though action is an expression, it's not your feelings that's the issue, right? What's the issue is how you react. No, it's how you react to those feelings. That's what makes things right or wrong. It's how you react to those feelings.
But how is my action wrong?
Listen. So what I'm saying is, if somebody was to do something to you, and you recognize that it made you feel a certain way, then yes, you should have done well. Sometimes I feel like it's time and place depending on where this thing happened.
Okay.
Well, you need to address it with that person and say, hey, okay. But you need to be in a space, a headspace, where you can articulate how you're feeling without all the quote unquote emotion around it. That's where the problem is, because when you get emotional and you have all, that's when you start to react irrational. Okay, you start reacting irrational because you're emotional. Yeah. So you need to process what had just happened, right? And then you speak on it. At that point, it makes that person aware. Yeah. And at that point, they are aware. That's it. That's it at that point. Now you have a decision to make. Yeah. Right? And you have a decision to make about how you're going to deal with those people as far as your relationship with them. After that, then you have to move how you're going to move. But when you get into a place where you're going to be arguing, fighting, and all that, for what? Okay. Because what is 4 agreements with number 2? But see, what's number 2? You don't have to do what number 2. Don't take things personally. Don't take things personally. And the thing about it is, especially when it comes to people's opinions, because anybody's opinion has absolutely nothing to do with you. It is a reflection of them and maybe their insecurities, whatever it is they have going on. However, if you agree with whatever it is they're saying, then that's the problem. There we go. But that's the only time it becomes true is when when I make in alignment with when you agree with it. So, but let me just say, this is what to live by, y'all. Yeah, that's why I brought it up there. 4 agreements. Get it. We would be better off, Virgil. I agree. But let me just say this though.
Because not, again, we're talking about mental health issues, right? Mental health issues don't just mean that you're schizophrenic or bipolar. Depression is a mental health issue. Yeah. So if I'm already suffering from a mental health issue, you're not gonna react in a rational way because you're responding to this event from all of these other events. Mm-hmm. So where she's saying to release the event as it happens, I didn't agree with that. Like I said, I ended up in jail. So
because of your reaction.
Because of my reaction. Because see, so if somebody busts your window out your car, if your reaction is to bust their window out, that was your reaction. But if my reaction is to burn their car up, that's my reaction. Who's to say which reaction was wrong? If
well,
you
did something to me. I get where you're at. But
think big. If you want to do something, think big. No,
hold on though. I understand what you're saying. However, there's always consequences and repercussions.
It is consequences.
It's always consequences and repercussions, whether it's negative or positive. Whatever action you do, there is a consequence or a repercussion that's coming after that. Now, whether it's possible, whether it's positive or negative, you know what I'm saying? It's something that's going to be beneficial or detrimental. Now, that's where that comes in.
Right.
So, you just didn't give a fuck. Let's be real.
No, it's not my fault that your reaction was to be petty and mine was, because 48 laws of power say to kill your enemy totally. So that you don't have to worry about it another day.
I don't think they meant that.
I'm just saying. So if you sit here and you bust my window and then I burn your whole car up, who was wrong?
Both y'all.
You shouldn't have messed with my car.
Both y'all.
You shouldn't have touched my car. My car wasn't bothering you. My car was minding its own business. If you didn't like the actions of your boyfriend being seen with me, then that's your business. That my car never did shit to you. So when your car get burnt up, then whose fault is that? Yours. It's your fault.
No, it's not. It's your fault.
Because
you chose to do that.
Man, now you just said cause and effect because you chose to bust my windshield. I effectively
first of all, what you ain't gonna do. What you're not gonna do. So you took, I understand, I said cause and effect, but that was based on your actions, not somebody else's actions. So if you decided, if they decided to bust your windows, okay, fine. Okay. There's still a consequence repercussion for them.
Okay.
Now, if you took, and instead of you doing whatever you know, the quote unquote legal way, and you decided, hey, well, you broke my window, so let me go big, I'm gonna burn your car. But guess what? There's still no consequence and repercussions gonna come after that for you.
And you're right.
But my thing is,
and you're right.
Right. So,
but you're talking about hurt people with mental illnesses. Hurt people.
Hey, Tam.
So now that I am older and I found myself, I understand certain things. But when, again, they don't tell Black people it's okay to talk to somebody. Matter of fact, they frown upon, that's the stigma. The stigma is Black people are strong. We don't need nobody. I'm tired of hearing how strong Black women are because Black women are weak and vulnerable too.
Absolutely.
Black women are not strong. Stop saying you're a strong Black woman because really I'm not strong. I have to be strong, but it is tiring and I am tired. Black women are tired. Black women do not want to be strong every day. Do you know how many Black women probably cry in the shower or just bust out in tears in the middle of their day? Only because they are tired. But the stigma, what's the question? The stigma to it all is, the stigma is Black people can't talk to nobody. If we talk to somebody, we weak.
But that's again, that goes right back to these generational.
That's why we gotta destigmatize
habits.
this.
So, okay, Tangi, we have a guest about to come on. We got Virgil going to come on, guys. So, well, let me read what Tangi said. And it's absolutely right. Tangi Culberson says it's never a great idea to fight fire with fire in high tension situations like that. But most of the time, people learn better from being burnt a little bit more, like a little bit from the flames. Ooh,
yeah,
that's so true. Though.
That's true, Tangi.
That is so true.
But Tangi, we're talking about mental illnesses, right? Post-traumatic stress. People don't even know that being able to just say, okay, well, I'm gonna get over it is a sign of post-traumatic stress. Depression is a sign of a mental illness. So these are the decisions that fuel when you fight fire with fire, you are normally suffering from some type of mental illness.
So this is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna bring Virgil on, guys.
The Reverend.
He's shaking his head. We're gonna bring Virgil on, and also Tangi, if you want to come on, click that link that's up at the top of the comments. Okay. So yeah, let's go on and bring Virgil on right now. We're gonna add him to our stream.
Hey Virgil.
What's
Hey,
good?
Virgil.
What's going on?
Good to see you, sir.
These ladies is looking lovely as usual.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Always
you.
the Reverend General.
I'm
I learned
just,
that Jamaica, they call the guy General.
I just believe a little bit more than some people. That's it.
Okay, well that's fine. Yes. So what do you have to say about us destigmatizing mental health issues in the Black community, Virgil? What is your intake on that? Input.
You can only go from moving forward because you can't change. You can only change how you behave now. So instead of telling your boys to suck it up, because I mean, like, think about it. If a Black woman is weak and she can cry to her homegirls and it's okay, she can cry to her mom and it's okay, her dad and it's okay. Who can a Black man cry to and it's okay?
Anybody, but when you cry,
No, I'm saying no, they can, but like society doesn't accept that.
no, but you can't really cry to your home girl, to your parent, because then guess what they're gonna say? Suck it up. It's gonna be okay. And in that moment,
But
it's
even
not gonna be
it's going to be
okay.
okay. It does. It's going
No,
to be okay. It's just their way of trying to help you cope.
but
But
again, that's our way of overlooking.
they're not saying that you're weak or to stop crying just because you're crying. Like it's generally accepted. Even if you think about sports, like girls get away with crying and get out of suicides.
No, they don't. I did suicides all the time. No, we did. We never got out of suicides. No, that's not accurate.
Like percentage base wise, it is accurate. Like
That's what happened. That's what happened.
yeah, percentage base wise, that's what happens.
That women
But
they start crying, they get out of things.
but boys, it don't matter. Oh,
White women,
you threw up on the
white
football
women,
field.
Black
You threw
women
up.
are looked at are perceived as being angry
Yep.
or
But that's coming from a different place than you being hurt. Like
but
what I'm saying is y'all do have places of shelter where a man doesn't. Like a man can't be weak and a man can't be aggressive. A Black man can't be weak and he can't be aggressive.
okay. I can see you being a Black man, you saying that, but you have more places than a Black woman to go to for yes.
How many men's houses, refuge houses are there? How many men's safe houses are there?
They only have the women because they have women with kids.
Whoa! They only
They
have
do it
what?
for kids. It's not
They
really
only have what?
for a woman. It's not really, it belittles the woman because they sit there and you just leave. If you're leaving a domestic violence situation, they're telling you, they're still dictating everything that you do too.
Yeah.
But
So you still you ain't being controlled by the man no more, but now being
you have a
controlled by
self
people that
place.
work in center.
You have a safe place and multiple locations that you can go to. Where if we don't get in line by 12 to get into the one shelter by 6, like we suck it up. Like y'all have multiple avenues of places to go. And I'm not trying to marginalize the female struggle at all.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to marginalize the female struggle at all. But I'm just saying, as to move forward, the only thing to do is to teach your kids differently.
Yeah, that's true. And that's why I said that's why we have to make it okay to talk to professionals about depression, about post traumatic stress. We have to stop frowning on people that seek out help from counselors and saying that we don't want people in our household. Don't put these people in our business. Like what happens at this house stays in this house. That's an unhealthy thing to tell someone.
Right.
Especially if what's happening in the household is killing me in the inside.
But what you're doing is telling me to fix a problem by only telling me the problems, which eventually locks you into the problem.
Exactly.
Because now you're telling what happened, this is what happened. You're going back into that emotional based state
Right.
where nothing can happen.
Okay. Did you see Precious? Did you see the
Yes.
movie Precious?
Yes.
So when Precious was getting help from Mariah Carey or whatever her name was in the character, it was what was said, it was wrong.
Right.
But Monique knew. Monique wanted to continue to receive the benefits, but don't say you need help until Precious ends up being pregnant for baby number 2 by her dad.
Right.
But this is what happened at baby number 1.
So
At baby number 1. It was an issue at baby number 1.
how do you foster relationships to alleviate that? Because you can tell all the circumstances of why this happens or when this happens or what made this happen, but
we have to tell people it's okay to talk to somebody. That's the way you foster that and alleviate those issues.
But
You
that's
can't
not
heal
it,
yourself
because
in the same place you got sick.
that's not necessarily true.
If I'm
But
being molested in this house, I'm not going to find healing in this house if my molester is there.
Right.
I'm not going to find healing from my knowing that my mom gave me to my dad to have sex with. I'm not going to find healing in that place. I'm not going to. You can't get healed in a place where
I'm
you.
s- you, your premise is assuming that the other party is not trying to change as well.
Okay, so how do you change from that though? How could you be 1 minute molesting your daughter and then the next minute, let's just forget that happened? Because now
Because
that's even adding on to the post traumatic stress.
Right.
Because you are still my abuser.
because it's not let's forget this has happened. That's not how you heal. Like that's the common misperception. Time heals all. It doesn't. It doesn't heal
It's not
nothing.
healing. Acknowledging heals. Acknowledging.
Not even acknowledging. Acknowledging doesn't heal because you just acknowledged somebody busted your window, so you burnt their car up. So
Sorry.
so it doesn't
You see,
acknowledging
that was her
acknowledging
not knowing how to deal with her emotions.
but acknowledging in a lot of
And I'm
circumstances
accountable for my actions.
is what is what triggers these symptoms of mental illness, because I'll acknowledge it. That doesn't mean I'm going to change it.
But I have to know how to change it. I have to have somebody that knows some skills to teach me that I can, when I see this surface up in my life, that I'm able to move on. Maybe I count to 10. Somebody tells me, oh, count to 10. Or sing your favorite song. Do something that's going to counter that emotional response from the action. Because I'm not responding from you directly today. I'm responding from what happened to me when I was 6.
Yes, and that person needs to take the same stance as be like, yo, I did this for so long. It's repentance, forgiveness, apologies, all of that is actions. If you just acknowledge it and express it, that doesn't mean anything. It's not until it turns into a
Action.
action
Correct.
to rectify what you was doing
Correct.
that anybody can really heal.
Correct.
So
I
for
agree.
healing to really happen, all parties involved have to be working towards the same goal.
I
Mm-hmm.
And
get
if
that.
somebody's being malicious, it might not never happen. That's why people can't heal in the same place they were hurt, is
Yeah.
because it's initially malicious.
Okay, but that we just said that because my healing would make you accountable for what you've done to me. How many people are like just because I'm ready for healing to start in my life doesn't mean that you're ready for healing to start in your life.
Correct.
So
Yes.
all
So
parties have to participate. That's true. I agree with that.
but
Right.
at the same time, forgiveness is what
Forgiveness.
heals you,
That's what we got some. It's about the forgiveness. It's about forgiving.
because that's what frees you from all that. Like you won't tell these stories like it just happened yesterday
Okay,
when you truly forgive, and it's like,
and you move on. But
yeah,
that you just said, I just said that's the issue in the black community. Also, black people don't know how to let go.
I won't marginalize it to black people, but I
Well,
understand what
lady
you're
who did
saying.
the study, she did it on black people, and she said that to sum it up,
Stop,
black people don't know how to let go.
stop. What was the numbers of her statistics?
I mean, I don't remember the actual
Oh,
number.
Not enough to say black people is
And
my
it's, you
point.
know what? First of all, let me just point
Maybe
out:
if it
if
maybe
you
if it
don't
was
know the
black, maybe
colonization
it's,
of South America, so don't ask me about no stereotypes. No number. No,
no.
no.
I know statistics though. I don't care about history as far as it affects
this is how
everything
it
around the world. Like you have a chance to learn that if you see something's going improperly, you can look all that up. That's why none of it matters.
But
But
she did a study, and you do agree the fact that people don't know how to let
yes,
go.
that
Okay,
is tough.
okay.
But
So
to say black people means she at least had to do 70% of all black people,
okay,
which
well, maybe the numbers are skewed
Well, I
there.
mean,
yeah,
statistics ain't nothing but getting a group of people, no matter how what the size is, and making a probability. So it's not facts either way it go. So I mean,
Okay, but let's say it this then.
but
So
like if she
if
did if
black
she
people
took that,
can let go, then why are we still dealing with stuff that happened during slavery? Why do we still have the same slave mentality?
hmm,
If black people knew how to let go,
hmm.
because they don't know how to move forward.
so they don't know how to let go.
That's not the same
I
because they
mean,
don't. We're
moving
not.
forward requires you to let go.
No,
I
no,
can't move forward and hold on.
no. You can't. But moving forward is not codependent on letting go, because moving forward means that you have to have foresight of a direction to move better, and that's what we don't have
But we
as
lack
a
the
people.
education on how to move forward
We
or
don't.
the know-how.
Explain to me yellow, and I've never seen before.
The sun.
I, okay, the sun. I've never seen before. So
A sunflower.
how are you going to
I'm
describe
telling
yellow?
you, this is how I will tell you what yellow is. A
This is a
sunflower.
banana. The color of
Right.
this banana
This
is
is this is
yellow.
this is
Okay,
yellow.
this. Oh
Color.
wait, like you've never seen a banana before.
No, you said
You've
you never
never.
seen yellow.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've
so you
never.
never,
I'm blind.
I'll keep
I'm blind
you're blind.
from life. I'm
I'll
blind.
say it's a
You
bright,
can't describe.
bright
You
color.
can't.
If you're blind, I'll say it's a bright
They don't know
color.
what bright is.
There we go.
So
Now that's what I'm saying. You can't do better if you don't know better, and we don't have
that's how we have
proper. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. That's why we
You
have to say it's okay to talk to people that do know.
yes.
So that's why we're saying to destigmatize these mental health issues. Like number one, by saying what happened in my house stays in my house, we have to stop saying that because you should be able to talk to somebody about something.
Who says that?
Black people say that.
I don't say that. I'm black. I think.
Have you ever heard it? What happened in my house stays in my
Of
house.
course. I've said it before.
Okay.
I have. I have said it before. And I also said I better know before anybody else know. Don't let something happen.
So
don't do something, and I have to hear from somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to come to.
Yeah. So
I need to know.
So we do say that in our community.
I guess the moral of my story is it's easier to move forward if you don't base it on the past and you're trying to find new ways. So if you're saying, how many times have you heard that? It's not helping me move forward. How many times have people said this? It's like you need to speak positivity and speak life into it,
True.
not the change that's been holding us back.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm being devil's advocate. You only move forward by acknowledging
That's not
what you
true.
think. Yeah,
It's not true.
yeah. Because
It's not true. I
acknowledging,
give you $1 million right now. What are you thinking about in your past?
if you gave me $1 million right now, and if I didn't address the stuff that happened in
No,
my
no,
past,
no,
I'm
no,
gonna
no,
tell
no.
tomorrow. Why do you
Huh?
think look at MC Hammer? Let's talk about MC Hammer. Poor money management. It was psychological shit.
Yeah.
It was
Okay, so
psychological shit. If you have to, that's why you can't give, even when you have these
okay, let's okay.
NBA,
What
you
you
can't give
say?
them all much money up front because guess what?
Stop.
They still got past trauma.
What I'm saying is I eliminate all your problems. I give you the keys to the world. The first thing is you're not going to say when I was 6 years old.
But my
Not.
habits, the things that show up in my life are gonna be from when I was 6 years old because I did
So
not
so so
address.
so you're telling me you haven't grown.
That's what I'm
You're
telling
you're
you.
telling you're telling me you're telling
Not
me
me.
you're not going to try to expand the thrift shop. You're telling me you're not going to try to cross national borders, become international, because your hurt has kept you from getting to where you are. So now that you have the keys to go somewhere place else, you're going to revert to trying to deal with all
I
that other
want to be
stuff.
a good example
So
because
here's
I
this.
acknowledge the pain I have.
Here's something that we have to acknowledge, and I understand where you're coming from and what you're saying. But even at the end of the day, we have to do the personal development, whether that is dealing with past traumas, different types of behaviors that we have, which may have been caused from past trauma, because you can give us $1 million, 5 million, 10 million, $1 billion today. You giving us that much amount of money, guess what it's going to do? It is going to reveal who
Reinforce
you
you.
truly are. It
Yeah.
is going to reveal who you really are. So those bad habits that you have, those different those nasty ways, whatever it is,
Are going to
it's
get
going to be
magnified.
magnified even more. So it's about dealing with, quote unquote, those things of our past, dealing with what we're dealing with right now, fixing those
Yes.
things within ourselves first, in order to be able to receive whatever it is, that big thing right there, that money or whatever it is that you want. Because when you get it, you ain't even gonna be able to handle it, or it ain't gonna be able to handle you, because you have not did the personal development to be able to sustain it.
And you
Yes.
can't skip that part. You just can't say, I'm gonna forget what happened to me and try to move forward. You
But
can't.
you'll never get to that part if you're holding on to what was keeping you back.
I said that. I said you can't move
So
forward
true.
if you can't let go. You have to let go. You have to let go. At some point, you have to say, I'm done with this.
But let me ask, what is letting go though? Because see, letting go could be moving around it instead of
So what?
hitting your head on and going straight through, knocking down. You know what I'm saying?
But
Letting go can still be suppressing.
Yeah.
Letting go, just because you're moving forward, don't mean that you dealt with
Or
those issues.
letting go doesn't mean that you've healed.
Right.
Right.
No, because that's what black people do. They let go, but they bury it.
Right.
They bury it.
Right.
They bury it. Well, people. I'm only talking about black people.
Well, that's what the
I'm black.
is. That's what the
I'm black.
Yeah.
So I'm addressing my community, and I can't speak for the other communities because I'm not in that community, and I don't see it happening in that community. I can only speak about what I see and who I'm around, and how I see post-traumatic stress in black people, how I see depression in black people, how I see schizophrenia, or people on drugs like so many people are on drugs because they don't know how to get over trauma. They ain't on drugs because they just want to get high. They getting high because they trying to escape reality because they don't know how to let go.
Yeah.
So what's your fix for this?
What's my fix?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question.
What's the solution?
The solution that we can do, I'm glad you asked that because things can change. One, we have to be aware. We have to be aware of the stigmatism that surround mental health issues in our community. We got to stop making names for them. We got to stop thinking that it's something else when it's something else. We gotta call a thing a thing. We gotta call a snake, a dog, and we got to just stop making shit be what we want it to be.
And you got to also be able to acknowledge that you can't do that. First of all, you can't do that by yourself.
You can't. And God, I love God. You love God? I know y'all love God. But look, God is only going to do what you do the work for.
Come on.
Faith without works is dead. Yeah. You can't say, God, heal me, and you ain't trying to get healed.
Come on.
You got to put if you just take a faith of a mustard.
So the crust of your thing is self-accountability is more important than anything versus letting go. And
right, because if I lie to myself, I can't even do anything if I'm lying to myself, right? And then you gotta educate yourself. You gotta educate yourself on different challenges that you have.
Right.
You know, you gotta seek out to say, well, how can I move forward? How can I get over something that I don't know how to address? You have to seek that education for yourself. And I mean, those are some of the things. And then you just gotta be aware of your attitude about it. So when you know it's something that's gonna make you feel down, then change your attitude. Right? If the color blue used to make me sad, I need to do happy shit with blue so I can change my attitude about the color blue.
Change your
That's what I feel. That's what I feel.
I agree.
You agree with me? Oh,
I agree.
I feel so good about that.
Amazing.
Thank you.
So I'm glad
we are finally here.
I am so glad you guys are agreeing. So I want to turn the tables a little bit. It was a little prompt thing.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Before we get out of here, it was a little current event thing we was talking about earlier, right? So I don't know if you've been paying attention because he's not here, right?
No,
Virgil's not here. So here in Atlanta, right, there had been little stuff on the news about restaurant that was refusing to service people who, excuse me, ma'am.
He doing a pull up.
It's okay. It was a restaurant that was refusing to service people who were not vaccinated. And it stated that the reason why is because they're like majority of the staff had become infected with COVID. It just was very challenging for the restaurant, right? And then I just saw also earlier today, a family member of mine had posted something similar where there was a young lady speaking about a situation with a physician and stating that, okay, the physician refused to see patients that were not fully vaccinated. And so they were basically saying, because of these things, this is just what the post was saying, you know, it's not my opinion, it's just what I read or what I saw, and it was on Instagram, that now because of this, it's going to be mandated. So for everybody to get vaccinated. So here's my thing. I am not stating that it's not eventually going to be mandatory. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's whichever wind blow right now. We're not mandated to get vaccinated for the flu vaccine. I honestly don't see it yet as far as for COVID. However, I understand these quote unquote business owners refusing services. And the reason why I say that is because these are business owners. This is a private physician, to my understanding. And this restaurant is also, a small business, and both of them are on private property. So they have, they can refuse services to anyone that they want to refuse services to. But and that's their choice. And we can always decide to go to a different restaurant. We can always decide to pick another position. And me and Yola was talking about this earlier because I don't even know where her opinion really is about it, because she eventually kind of like, okay, I understand what you're going, where you're saying and what you're going through. I mean, where you're going with it. But my thing was, it's no different, in my opinion, as far as a physician, than a physician deciding not to take your insurance anymore. Because I can even say with me in one of my situations some years ago, like my OBGYN that I was going to, Dr. Vatona Naden. Yes, I called her out. But no, it's no shade to her. I loved her. She was a great physician. She delivered my child, family member kids. She did surgeries for other family members that I know. You know what I'm saying? She was a great OBGYN, she educated us. She was amazing. Mm-hmm. And had her for over 20 years. And then all of a sudden, she decided she might want to take Blue Cross Blue Shield. And that's what I had. Right. And I couldn't make her take Blue Cross Blue Shield. That was her choice. That was her choice. She is a private physician at a private facility, and her decision was to not accept Blue Cross Blue Shield anymore, due to whatever reasons she had. And because of that, guess what? Even though I was there 20 years plus, Kish had to go find her another man physician. Okay. Now, go ahead.
Okay. So, no, your doctor made a choice. Mm-hmm. The restaurant owner made a choice. Mm-hmm. Who else was it?
They'll give them to you. Okay.
So
far,
how statistically, how many black people are more white people vaccinated than black people?
Yes.
All right. So then, what the black people are saying is now that's an infringement upon the constitutional right for the amendment of 1964 race, creed, or color. Because if the majority of black people are not vaccinated,
that's a decision.
It is a decision. It is a decision. But
how? And that's what the problem is, because people want to make it a black and white thing.
And that's what they're going to make it. They're going to make it a black and white thing.
But it's not a black and white thing, because just how and I'm going to speak for this,
right?
Because I've worked in it. There's nobody going to sit here and tell me, well, I couldn't afford this, or I couldn't afford that. I couldn't get this, I couldn't get that. Because in public health right now, you can go to any local public health, I know in Georgia, and get the vaccine for free. So it's not a black and white thing. You're choosing not to get vaccinated. And that's your decision. And that's absolutely 1,000% fine. I don't even have to do it.
Right. None at all.
It has nothing to do with
none at all.
You can wear your mask. At that same token, though, just like you had a choice to get the vaccine or not to get the vaccine, that small business owner had a choice to service your ass or not. You don't have to be serviced. You have a small business. And my thing is, I'm also looking at on an opposite end as well. Because of this and COVID and how things have been, and like this restaurant owner said, almost his whole staff was affected. So that, in saying that, now you got your whole staff affected, who may have infected their entire family.
True.
Then you have gotten infected, and it's infected your entire family. So if they made that decision,
but how are they going to know?
What you mean? I mean, when you get vaccinated, they do give you a card.
I'm saying, so are you going to have to walk around with a card?
You should anyway.
I'm saying, but is that constitutional?
Yeah.
Because even on your credit card, when you have your credit card, right?
You walk around
with your credit card signed on the back, legally, I can't ask you for your ID. If your signature on the back of your card match the signature on the slip, I can't ask you for your ID. So, and they should, right? Because I file compliances on them all the time. I mean, especially when I go to a restaurant and they say, "Can they see my ID?" Why? I tell them who I am. I tell them what I do for a living. Do you still want to see my ID? And when they say yes, when I get back to work, I log their ass in.
And guess what?
And they get a $5,000 fine.
But guess what though? But even though they technically cannot do whatever,
because my card is signed on the back.
But guess what though? They can still deny you that service.
They can deny me service. As a private business, you can deny me service.
They can deny services regardless.
As a private business, you can. But if it's mandated, one to wear masks, you see people are not even wearing the mask. It is a government mandate. So
see that's what the thing is. That right there is government mandate.
That is government mandate.
Right. So you go into a facility and you don't have your mask on, you can't get mad because they tell your ass.
Right, because that's a mandate. That's a law. They made that a law.
Exactly. And by law, but also by law, these small businesses that is private owned and private property, by law, they have a right to refuse service.
But you can't discriminate.
But they have a right to refuse service, but they don't have a right to know about your medical history.
Because that is
that's fine. That's fine, but they don't have to.
So how are they going to know?
So like you're not serving me if I'm not vaccinated. You're not serving non-vaccinated people.
It's not a HIPAA violation if you. It's not a HIPAA violation if you are telling your medical information.
But who
it's not.
That's exactly. It's like, so you're not going to serve me if I don't have a vaccination. Cool.
They can ask you.
They are doing it. They are doing it.
Ask me what? Ask me.
Honestly, it's not even about if you can prove it or not. That's not what the whole problem. That's not what the issue is. The issue is they don't want to serve people who say they're not vaccinated. It is what it is. I don't know the logistics in that, but I'm just saying they have that right. They have that right.
They do have that right, but they don't have the right. They don't have the right to justify it. So if you just happen to be at my same doctor and my doctor violated patient privilege and told you I wasn't vaccinated, okay, but other than that, how do you know that you can't serve me?
They can ask.
Okay, that my medical records is my own business, sir.
See, what you're getting at misconstrued though, because just because they're asking you, so they're asking you, right? You can say yes or no, or you can say you would decide to withhold that information. Right. You're not asking for they're not asking you for documentation. We don't know in what type of a setting they're asking you. We don't know any of that information. So I'm not even gonna say, I can't say how they're asking.
But private
or what they're doing.
Do what they want to do.
But and if you're working in healthcare, I mean, shit, as an employee, you're not sharing. Everybody has the information there, and you have to sign whatever I'm saying as far as HIPAA, and you have to, as an employee, you have to protect that person's HIPAA. But if she's working in the office with me, and we and her have to work together on your file, the information I got, she got,
and you're not vaccinated.
So at the end of the day,
we're not going to service you.
Still,
I am vaccinated.
They're going word of mouth. However, either way, they can decide to either refuse services or give services, whether it's a doctor's office or whether it's a restaurant.
But I just want to ask you, they're already closing off some countries to
Italy,
people who are not vaccinated.
Right now, you cannot go to Canada if you're not fully vaccinated. So, what's the difference? You cannot go to Canada if you're not fully vaccinated.
Well, that's a law.
There you go.
That's a country enforcing a law.
Not a law. Yeah. Exactly.
So is that gonna fall under discrimination in a little bit?
No. But I was gonna say, either way, it's not a constitutional thing because I don't have to tell you my medical history per the Constitution, just like you don't have to service me per the Constitution.
Right. Take your ass somewhere else to eat.
Well, definitely go somewhere else to eat. But do I think people should be out affecting other people?
I'm looking at it from both spectrums. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it from both.
If they know they are sick, why would you want to be out anyway?
Because that's what people do.
And that's just rude.
For example, my best friend, one of my best friends, her rest in peace, her daughter had passed. Right? And this is last year. November 11th, matter of fact. And right after that, we did a celebration of life, right? Now, when that happened, nobody, even those that quote unquote are sick or know that they have been around someone who had COVID, guess what they did? They still showed up because they wanted to pay their respects. Oh my God, I'm so upset. And we understand that you're mourning too. But guess what? We just put everybody in danger. Because guess what happened? On Thanksgiving Day, I woke up, me and my mom. And I'm more terrified for my mom than anything. Me, my mom, and my best friend. All three of us woke up Thanksgiving morning, COVID. It just simply we from the same. It had to be from the same person because that's the only time all three of us were together at the same time. You understand what I'm saying? So people don't care.
Well, that's
and people also are carriers. Everybody don't actually have get sick. Some people are asymptomatic. They are carriers. People understand children are one of the biggest carriers of COVID. Mm-hmm. And then they want to put all these kids back in school.
Children are the most
it's
disgusting creatures on earth.
So they are carriers. Yeah. So it's just like, thank God that it was short-lived for me and my mom. And she to this day is still in denial. I'm talking about your mama. She's like, I had a head cold. No, shawty, that was cold. You know what I mean? It was. It is what it is. But I felt so bad because I was so bad. My mom been staying safe. She been doing this. She been doing that. And we've been tested. I was at that time. I was getting tested at least every other week. I've been working in it. And the thing about it is, for me, working in it from like March of the year before, never had a positive COVID test, and was out there in the thick of it, to let my guard down one time because I want to support my family. Yeah. And boom, there we go. So just thinking about that, and then thinking about, for example, you being a business owner, being in your own store, having employees and having them there, and you know that y'all good because you made sure that y'all good, and then you had to come in contact and it affected everybody in your store. You done lost money, you almost lost your life, you probably done gave it to your family, whatever, because we had somebody that was responsible. Yeah.
Even going into people's homes though, perform services. I'm like, I'm around these people, you really, and they don't really even know how to transmit the virus, anyway, how it's transmitted. They don't know all the details. So you really just don't know, and you really do need to be safe. And since the numbers are going up, if they don't want you at their restaurant because you ain't got your vaccination, then go somewhere else. Mm-hmm. It ain't even gotta be a thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, we are our brother's keeper. Yeah. I'm your keeper, you're my keeper. We have to make sure that each other is safe. And it's not
I think it kind of pisses me off sometimes. I understand people don't want to protest, they want to do something over there.
They don't protest
over that one restaurant or whatever. My thing is, damn, y'all got options.
They do got options, but
you straight up got options.
But nobody wants
that. But that's what's wrong with the media now. Because this is all the media's fault. Because why am I even hearing about this store not servicing somebody?
Because like, they're going to turn that into discrimination.
So yeah, like getting to the root of it.
Big topic. This is going to be huge. Listen to me. You're going to not be able to get a job if you're not vaccinated. Jobs are going to stay.
Let's say that's true. You know when that happens?
When does that happen?
When it's FDA approved.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So when it becomes FDA,
until then,
you can't go to public school unless you got an MMR.
Exactly.
Measles, mumps,
and what does that mean? All of those are FDA approved.
And but right. So when it becomes FDA approved, so are they?
Let's say I don't have my COVID vaccination, and me being a military member, that says a whole lot about the actual vaccine itself.
No.
Huh? No, yes, it does. No, they've made me take smallpox. They've made me take anthrax. They made me take hepatitis, polio, MMR, penicillin. Mm-hmm. They make me take all of that. Why? Mm-hmm. Because they have the proof to back up that whatever they're trying to claim it does, it does. Mm-hmm. They haven't made me take this COVID vaccine.
And you know why?
Think about it. Because it's not FDA approved.
It's not, but at the same token, you got to think about this. Every last one of those things that you talked about, almost, not all of them, but most of them, were or had been either a pandemic or epidemic way before your time. Okay? So there have been studies and studies and studies and studies for this and for that. That's why it became mandatory for it to be dissolved in our communities. And that's what basically happened. That's why these kids have to get that vaccine So we don't have people around here too much anymore. Seeing them with measles, with mumps, with rubella. When back in 1995 is when they came up with the varicella shot for children. Did they have it with us? No. Guess what we got? Chicken pox. Okay? So now you got the varicella. The varicella shot, they get that now. My child ain't have she didn't have chicken pox. Is yours?
I don't recall having chicken pox.
They didn't have chicken pox. But my thing is this is no different than the cycles of everything else that has happened. This epidemic has just happened. So of course it's a lot that's going into that. You're right, it's not FDA approved yet. However, it becomes FDA approved, I would not say that it would not become mandatory, but that's why they haven't made it. It's not enough there. It's not, like you said, it's just not enough there. But those things you were made to do. So, like you said, best believe it's going to be mandatory after
they figure it out.
Once
they figure out if it's airborne or not airborne, or.
But what I'm saying, it was years on top of years, almost decades before that stuff happened. That's my thing. But people forget that everything, these vaccines that we have to take now, or that our kids had to take, or that we had to take as kids, ain't nobody bitching about that. Don't nobody bitch about that, really. As far as the majority, let me say that, because you do have some people that's just totally against everything. That's fine. That's their prerogative. But at the same token, this is something brand new to us. Mm-hmm. But a vaccine had already been in the works because of the other.
It's been around since the 50s.
Because the other different coronaviruses that we already have.
But I just want to point out, though, it is on the calendar for the FDA. Mm-hmm. They have reviewed it several times with pushback. So I don't know, maybe.
It will get approved when they find out some tune. When it doesn't give blood clots, when it doesn't cause aneurysms, when it doesn't do a lot of things that people are affected by, mm-hmm. It will get approved when they properly test it.
I'm still like this because the flu vaccine still is not even mandatory. So I mean,
and people still get, and the numbers are basically the same.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. We're taking small situations. What I'm saying is people are taking small situations, like what I was just talking about, the restaurants, the physicians, whatever, and saying, oh, because of this is what's about to happen. And I'm like, hold on, y'all reaching for a minute. There's a lot of things that has to be dealt with prior to all that, if that's even becoming mandatory. The flu has been around for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? There's different strands of the flu. That's how they come up with the H1N1 and all that stuff, because there were so many different strands of the flu that they had to come up with something that can actually combat all these different strands. And that's what you have now. But the flu was never designed for you to not get the flu. It was designed for you not to die from the flu. That's what people not understand. And I'm thinking this is how that COVID vaccine is actually designed. They're all in the same family. I don't think it's going to be mandatory no time soon, but I mean, it don't matter to me.
Right. If you get vaccinated, you don't get vaccinated. They require you to be vaccinated to go to their location. You just limited yourself to the places that you can go. Then you have to. I mean, it's just a new form of living for everybody. So, but guys, we went over 11 minutes. So, Virgil, before we get off with you, what's your closing thoughts on destigmatizing mental health issues in the Black community?
Self-accountability, holding yourself accountable for what you can control, and trying to figure out better ways to build and forget about what's holding you down, because nothing around you ever gets easier. You just get stronger at the end of the day.
Okay, well, we thank you for always being a friend.
Man, bro, you got to send you some gifts.
Listen, we trying to go to Tucson. We trying to be in Tucson.
It's here.
Yeah.
See this beautiful sunset?
Oh, yeah. Oh, what time is it out there?
7:30ish, 8 o'clock, something like that. 7:30. 22.
Well, maybe when his schedule free up, he could actually come in person into that. That'd be great. So thank you, Virgil.
I didn't hear that slick comment.
I wasn't slick. It was very something. It was very nice.
I said when your schedule frees up,
maybe you can come down.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean,
I
listen,
I think I
if
think
you want the
October I
doctor,
become free, except for some bookings I already have. So
well, get your bookings on. And Ray, we thank you so much for coming, and we're gonna do our closing thoughts, and we'll chat with you later. Okay?
all right,
Okay.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
later,
Virgil.
later.
Gorgeous Virgil. Thank you.
Besos en brazos,
Oh,
mijas.
Lord have mercy.
Bye.
Closing thoughts for me. Um, acknowledging,
Yeah.
accountability,
Mhm.
all that. All that.
Mine is acknowledgement, right?
Yeah.
Accountability,
Okay.
understanding that you cannot do it by yourself,
You cannot.
and also understanding and being okay with the fact that other people may not see things your way. Because just like you said earlier, just because you're ready to heal and want to move on, don't necessarily mean that the people who helped cause the trauma are. And so you have to be okay with your truth
Mm-hmm.
and being able to move forward, even if those people are not on board. You have to be okay with that because a lot of times we take people, especially our loved ones, our family, our parents, especially our parents, their feelings, and we want to shelter that. We don't want them to feel bad. We don't want this. We don't
You
want
don't want
that.
anybody to feel.
And it's like, so how do you get past that? You have to be strong enough to be okay with them not being okay.
Exactly. And
That's
don't let them
them
stop
or
you.
anybody.
Don't let anyone stop you from growing.
Right.
But in all things, grow.
Yes.
So thank you guys for tuning
Thank
in.
you all
We
for
hope that
tuning
you
in.
learned something, not even learned something. We hope that you took the time to listen, apply this in your life how it is. If it helps you, use it. If it don't help you, you ain't got to. I mean, it's your choice. You do what you're ready for. We'll catch y'all at the beach or the bank.
Yes. And we'll catch you guys also next Wednesday, same
Next
time.
Wednesday,
Same live
time.
Same time, same live
Same
stream
podcast.
with the same dope ass chicks.
Same dope ass chicks.
So listen.
I might have a little tan or something though.
Hey.
Trip, you know.
Oh yeah, you got a little trip coming up. I left. Now she gone.
Hey,
it's all good though. That's what we do. That's what we do.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, love y'all.
All right, so we are out, guys.
We're out. And guess what? I'm gonna not talk